Welcome back to another Champion Deep Dive, and today we're talking about Mangog. He's got armor break immunity, bleed immunity, power gain, power steal, enrage, nullify, recoil mitigation with damage to boot. Let's get into it. Mangog enters the contest with an always active immunity to armor break debuffs and all bleed effects. He suffers negative 40% combat power rate, but he instead gains 5% of a bar of power every second while below 2 full bars. If struck while unstoppable, gain a non-stacking fury buff, granting increased attack for 10 seconds. This one's important, but more on this later. Hatred of a billion beings? Mangog starts with 3 hatred. It's unaffected by ability accuracy and cannot be gained more than once every 0.2 seconds. This maxes out at 10 stacks. Now, you gain 1 hatred each time either champion finishes a 5-hit combo, and you gain 1 when nullifying a buff. Also, each stack of hatred grants increased energy resistance, armor rating, and critical rating, all depending on your rarity and rank. Now, if you're at 10 stacks of hatred and then activate a special attack, Mangog triggers Enrage. This causes hate to fall off over 8 seconds after the special attack ends. While enraged, each time Mangog would gain hate, Enrage is paused for 3 seconds instead. He'll also take 50% less damage from enemy attacks and the recoil mastery. Additionally, Mangog gains an indefinite unstoppable buff. This is removed when Enrage expires, or if Mangog is struck by a special attack. Now, during special attacks 1 and 2, gain an indefinite unblockable buff. This helps you take advantage of your special attacks without having to gain an opening, but more on that later. Basic attacks that make contact with the opponent have a 70% chance to inflict a 14-second stagger debuff, nullifying the next buff triggered by the opponent. Now, heavy charging can be held for an extended duration and deals a large burst of energy damage based on charge time. While Enrage is not active, consume 2 hatred to inflict an armor break debuff for 15 seconds, reducing the opponent's armor. Also, gain 220% ability power rate while charging. This scales nicely with that already 5% you gain below 2 power bars. Now, let's check out the special attacks. With the special 1, on activation, gain 2 hatred. This bypasses the gain cooldown, so you can gain more than 1 within that time period. Also, the second and final hits inflict a stagger debuff for 14 seconds. If enraged, gain a non-stacking energy protection buff, granting full immunity to shock, incinerate, cold snap, and frostbite effects for 15 seconds. This buff is paused while enraged. On the special 2, each hit deals a burst of energy damage. The first hit steals the opponent's power above their nearest full bar. If they have less than 1 full bar of power, all their power is stolen. Also, Mangog gains 100% of the power stolen from this attack. If enraged, the final hit inflicts a stun debuff for 3 seconds. If the opponent is struck, the stun is removed. The Special 3. Nullify up to 10 buffs from the opponent, while gaining a non-stacking regeneration buff over 5 seconds based on rank and rarity. This is increased for each buff that was nullified during this attack. If enraged, this attack inflicts a stun debuff for 2 seconds. Now, let's check out the signature ability. Each time a stagger expires naturally on the opponent, Mangog has an up to 25.01% chance to gain 1 hatred. Also, while unstoppable, Mangog passively regenerates up to 20% of incoming hit damage instantly, giving an extra layer of damage mitigation on top of the reduction you get from being enraged. He also gains attack rating and critical damage rating per hatred, which plays real nice with that critical rating you already get. Now, let's take Mangog for a spin in the champion rotation. First, build up to the special 1 and launch to gain 2 hatred. Each of your 5-hit combos will be fueling your stacks as well. From there, build up to 10 stacks while building up to your special 2. In order to make the full rotation work, you want the opponent just under the special 1 so that you can launch your special 2, power steal, and make sure they don't have a special attack at the end of it. From there, they'll be stunned and you'll be enraged and unstoppable. Charge your heavy attack and let it build up your power meter. Let the opponent attack you. This will grant you that fury and release your heavy charge immediately, while taking reduced damage and applying burst damage to the opponent. Now, because you charge that heavy for so long, the damage is higher than if you were to charge it for a shorter time. If you've done everything right, you'll have a special 2 ready to fire off or very close, with Enrage still active and you're still unblockable. So, fire off that second special 2, which will stun them again, but this time, because your Enrage will likely be expired, you're going to want to walk right up to them and give them one last heavy charge. Hold it for as long as you can before the stun expires and while your Fury is still active. This will give you another high damage burst damage attack. From here, rinse and repeat. Just keep in mind, the second loop will require more than just one special 1 to build up your charges, because now you're starting from 0 instead of 3 at the beginning of the match. Alternatively, you can jump right into attacking because remember, each 5-hit combo will pause Enrage for 3 seconds. Not only that, each hit has a 70% chance to stagger while you're enraged, so you can potentially stay enraged for a long time, especially if going up against buff champions. When Enrage expires, you can rely on your signature ability to help rebuild hatred as each leftover stagger expires. Now, let's go over some best uses. Heavy buff champions will not only help you build your hatred charges faster, you'll also have the ability to heal quite a bit with the special 3 for each buff nullified. Bleed immunity makes him an excellent choice for Caltrops and going up against opponents that cause bleed. You can't cold snap if you can't armor break. Sorry, Vision Arcus. And just general questing, as his loop is intended to end fights quickly, especially with his ability to reduce recoil damage. Now, let's check out some notable synergies. Amber Prison. With Loki on the team, Mangog starts the fight with one full bar of power, helping you build up those hatred chargers sooner with immediate access to a special 1. Loki gains a 10% attack rating for each unique buff he has active. Hello, Venom. Rage On. This is a solo synergy with either Kingpin, Immortal Hulk, or Wolverine on the team. Mangog inflicts the opponent with a 5-second suppression debuff when becoming enraged, reducing their defensive combat power rate by 30%, allowing you to attack more before filling up that bar of power. Energy Absorption. With Bishop or Havoc on the team, all synergy members once per fight when struck by an energy attack inflicts the opponent with a stun debuff for 1.2 seconds. Further, Bishop gains a 25% regeneration rate and an additional 30% prowess potency. Havoc gains a 5% increase to combat power rate and a 20% increase to ability power rate, giving you a significant bump in your power gain as you fight and more access to your specials. Banished. With Avengers designated champions on the team, all of Mangog's attacks deal a burst of energy damage while enraged, dealing 6% of modified attack, while Avengers gain a passive indefinite 10% fury at the start of the fight. Fueled with Rage. With Odin on the team, Mangog becomes immune to Nullify. Each time Nullify is prevented, gain a non-stacking precision buff, granting an additional 350 critical rating for 15 seconds. With Odin, when dealing a burst of direct damage using a special 2 attack, the damage threshold of each burst is increased by 150% of Odin's base attack rating, adding more devastation to his rotation. Alright, let's head over to Masteries. One of the clearest mastery choices right off the bat is the Double Edge and Recoil Masteries. Adding in Liquid Courage will give you a damage bump while taking a minimal amount of damage, if you load up with the Willpower synergy. With Mangog's nullification abilities, Mystic Dispersion is an obvious choice to add this to his already available power gain abilities. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Mangog. Are you ready? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the battle realm.